Welcome back to another VeVe Digital Collectibles video. Man, we have a good one for you today. Lots of updates coming to the app. We're recapping since our last business update, which was back in May. I've got the men of the hour with me, David and Dan, co-founders of VeVe, to chat with me about all of the things. And we're even going to be talking about something that a lot of you in the last video indicated in the comments you really wanted to hear about, and that was Omi. So stick around. We have a great show for you. And to kick it off, let's talk about some of the major wins that we've had, David. A lot of things have happened since May. As you go through the archive that is your mind, what's one of the cool things that really stands out to you since May?
Wow. Thanks, Corey. To start with, there's just so many things happening. I mean, many of you probably know that I'm always working forward, planning the next 6 to 12 months, what's coming up. So my mind's always full of excitement. And, you know, to grab really one thing that I think really stood out very well was the Comic-Con we did in San Diego. We did a activation with The High, basically this project from Ridley Scott and Johnny Depp production companies, the Ashcan. Many of you probably have read about on our blog about this Ashcan debut on VeVe. Very exciting, one of the world's first, very exclusive to have such a beautiful piece of digital artwork through the QR code. So that's one of the highlights for my quarter on, you know, these live events and activation. But, you know, a lot of the stuff that I'm working on, which is I'm very much tight-lipped on, it's going to bring a lot of new excitement into VeVe and our community.
And that ash can, David, I don't know if a lot of you watching realize this, but it was, and I know it was on purpose, David, because everything you do is on purpose, but it was such a clever thing to do because that's a project that, like you said, involves Ridley Scott and Johnny Depp. And that probably is the first ash can in existence that has a QR code that links to a collectible. So an ash can in itself, if you're watching, you have no idea what an ash can is. An ash can basically is a teaser for a graphic novel or a project. They've existed since the golden age. They're super rare because they usually get thrown away. They end up in the ash can, right? And you managed to figure out how to get a VeVe QR code in the corner on the back of that thing. And that's, you know, Johnny Depp and Ridley Scott's project. Have you had any conversations since that thing went live?
Yeah.
Because the article that we put out, it's done numbers. A lot of interest in this thing.
Yeah, with the team at Mechanical Cake behind all this, and Jesse, the writer, the producer of the Morphle as well as High. You know, I had phone calls with them, video chat about what's to come, and obviously the comic sold out throughout the weekend, both physical and digital. So for those of you who managed to grab a physical copy of the Ashcan, they are truly one of a kind. And generally, the Ashcans are printed on very budget paper because they're just really ideal concept. But the fact that the booklet was printed with beautiful cover, hard, glossy paper, and inside full of ideas and artwork and notes from the producers and the writer. And some of you probably were sitting in that 7,500 whole age room, got a sneak peek of the Johnny Depp's performance around that. And I had good phone calls with the production company behind it. And, you know, hopefully we will be bringing something to show for Hyde and New York Comic-Con. But definitely stay tuned. I'm super hyped and super excited with what's to come with that franchise and that partnership that we have with VeVe.
Now, Dan, from a technology and innovation standpoint, that QR code being able to link to a poster is an interesting concept. But the whole point of these graphic novels, these ash cans to sort of tease, is that you're giving people insight into a world that you're creating. Talk to me a little bit about, you know, this time it was a poster, but technically you could scan a QR code and get, as you know, because you've built them, dioramas, animated characters, entire experiences. What does something like this open up in terms of opportunities to collaborate with different entities?
I mean, it's a really good opportunity for us to be able to get the word of VeVe out there a lot more. I mean, like, honestly, kudos for David. I don't know how he pulls these things off sometimes, but, to get an ashcan with Johnny Depp and Hall H, which is like the pinnacle of San Diego Comic-Con. So, yeah, I mean, behind the scenes, we basically built a system that, allows any user to scan a QR code. We can basically track them all the way through, right through to the end result, which is obviously getting those users to sign up, and then offering them some incentive item. That's the reason we put quite a bit of time and effort into this is that new user growth is always at the forefront of what I'm doing now. So I'm really excited to see how we can leverage this moving forward, and not only just with the QR code, but I mean we can use it in many different areas. So I'm really excited.
Absolutely. And on the note of events, let's just transition right into that. Since May, it's hard to find you two sometimes in office because you're always somewhere doing something, talking to someone, either doing a deal or just having some presence for VeVe at a convention or even just a conference. So talk to me a little bit about some of the highlights since May for events. We'll start with David.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of you probably caught up with me in London Comic-Con. We had a community meetup there. We done the Lisbon, our first Web3 events in Europe, and what's to coming up, and in between, I've been in few Web3 conferences. I did a panel yesterday here in New Zealand, and flew back to headquarters back here recording this. What's really exciting is what's remaining to come. So we got DesignerCon Hong Kong that's happening in October. We're back to back with New York Comic Con in the same week, and that's going to be a major blast. VeVe is going to be, coming back with stronger products. We've got celebrities, we've got signing all happening. And then the fourth quarter, we'll be celebrating our 5th anniversary at DesignerCon Las Vegas. But this year we have a huge lineup of product and digitals that will be available. And for the very first time that we will be taking payments for these digitals with your OMI tokens. So it's adding another layer of utility for all you OMI holders out there. You can come to New York Comic Con, DesignerCon Hong Kong. You can be in Las Vegas, purchase one of our limited edition merch, collabs, comics, what have you not, using your OMI token. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice. And that's not the only OMI talk in this video. So don't turn it off right now if you've just come here to hear about OMI. We've got more OMI stuff coming. Dan, from your perspective, what are some of the highlights since May in terms of events? Because I think you were at, a couple of them there too.
Yes. Yep. Well, I mean, for most of the events, somebody has to stay back here and do all the work.
Yeah.
Corey. But no,
I know. It's me. I'm the one that's.
I guess the highlight for me was going over to Lisbon. I mean, number one, Portugal, Lisbon, beautiful place, and it was a really good opportunity for us to catch up with our VeVe fam in the Europe kind of region, because it had been a little while since we'd been up there. So it was super cool. It was great going to the Web3 event. Obviously, as we mentioned on that, we are starting to step more into the Web3 side of things, some of which we will talk about today, and then we're going to have some more information coming up in the future around that. But yeah, it was honestly, I was actually really quite surprised by the event. It was a full NFT collectible event, and in Europe, there are so many cool projects going on up there. So it was really good to be part of that team and that just that experience. And of course, we had a couple of great dinners and rooftop events with the VeVe fam that came along. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was fun to watch. I think it was fun for the community to experience through the lens of the awesome people that we work with. We have a great events team that travels about chasing you two around the world and recording your exploits. Now let's go a little bit closer to home. Let's bring it back into VeVe. Since May, you've really been establishing the co-founder-led model at VeVe, and that's been changing the way that a lot of people work. It's been changing the way that we structure our goals and the things that we're trying to accomplish. David, from a CEO's perspective, so from a very eagle-eyed perspective, how has this shift changed the way that we're doing business at VeVe?
Thanks, Corey. So moving back to a co-founder lead business model has been a massive positive effect in VeVe. Number one, it allows us to be closer to the core of what makes this platform really special. Our, number one is our collectors, our partners, and, myself and Dan's vision where that digital collecting is headed to. And from the business operations standpoint of view, it means faster decision making. We are clearly prioritizing what's important and refocusing on building features and experience that truly add value to our community. And from the goal perspective, nothing like what we're doing. We're still doubling down on our long-term growth. Number one is strengthening our technology, expanding our content, partnership, ensuring VeVe continue to set that standard for the premium digital collectible that what we always talk about. And, I have never been more energized with our business in every level. And I think, with both myself and Dan now putting our eye very close, that impact, you guys will really see that in the coming quarters. And so I'm more excited than ever. And, what we had to do right now is to regroup, be more agile. And, there are challenges in the marketplace, in the macroeconomic side of things, and we identify them and we find solution to cope with them. But it takes time because you're restructuring businesses, and it's like every other project out there is doing the similar thing, and we're just really putting our attention very close to the home base here. And that's why you probably have not seen Dan in a lot of these events. I was also at San Diego Comic-Con. I'm out there at the National Chicago Trading Card Show, really listening and learning new idea, new verticals that we can be tapping into. And that really is all about building product partnership and how to grow this business further. So being founder-led, I see as a positive thing, and I hope our community will feel that effect in the coming quarters as we announce and as we showcase what's coming.
That's a great answer, David. Now, Dan, for you, David's a little more above. He's up in the clouds, looking down, seeing what all. But you're in the trenches. You're in the trenches with all of us. We're going through it day by day. From your perspective, sort of on the ground, in the dirt, working with the team. How are you feeling? How are you feeling about how things are going and where we're going?
From my perspective, I'm really, really happy with it. I mean, Dave and I started this business as a passion business, and it's really good just to get back to, building the product out based on what we find enjoyable as collectors. And if we find it enjoyable, then we obviously hope everybody else is going to find that enjoyable as well. And also just not to forget that VeVe is still a market leader in what we're doing. Like, there's no rule book for us to follow, so we are always having to test and measure. And even over the past couple of years, we are still the remaining business that continues to sell, a high number of digital collectibles. So, really good being back on the shop floor with the team, rallying everybody around. My goals really is to just make VeVe fun again. I think the app and the product went a little bit astray. And that's some of the things we're going to be talking about today. That's really the biggest thing for me, is just to make sure that we are providing a really good product. And secondly, is that onboarding new users is critically important. So we want to make sure that experience, from when you scan a QR code on an ash can or you click on an ad, as you come through the platform, you're being educated, you're being excited, to really dive into this digital collectible world.
Fantastic. And make VeVe fun again. That has sort of been the rallying cry as a lot of us have been doing our work, and we've been looking at ways, networking with our community, getting feedback through the feedback widget and all the amazing voices and people that we have that provide commentary on what we're doing as a business. So there's a lot of things that are coming that are going to be making VeVe fun again. One of those things that's already existed, it's sort of in its MVP stage, its most viable product stage, is the VeVeVerse. Dan. So it's been, I think, around the time we did the last update would be May. I think that's when we did our last VeVeVerse update. Where are we at? Like, what's the good word with the VeVeVerse?
Well, I'm really happy to see that a lot of people are just going even higher levels with the spaces that they are creating. So it's great to see that it's that the interest in the VeVeVerse still continues to grow over time. From a product perspective, we've been doing a lot of optimizations on the back end, just to make sure that, because I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't think you'd be making spaces that would be kilometers or miles in length, but this seems to be really the trend and what people want. So we've been doing a lot of optimization on just on the back end to make sure that the platform is operating in a really stable way, and also just runs very smoothly overall. So that's kind of the behind the scenes stuff. In addition to that, we've been doing a lot of work on the actual collectible side of things, just making sure that they are again fully optimized. And when we roll out these collectibles, like what was the recent one? The Fantastic Four, Johnny Storm. With all, just the particles and everything looks so amazing. But there's quite a lot of work to get all of that particle work and those particle effects looking the way we want them in the VeVeVerse. So with each release we roll out, there's always something being added to the platform. We do have a couple of other things working that is going to be rolled out very soon. And I can say that because they are actually done. I'm not just saying it's coming up. And there's just a couple of small things. So number one, we've got a space portal. So the idea here is that, don't get me wrong, I love it when people make giant spaces, but the idea with the space portals is that it means that you can drop a portal anywhere in your VeVeVerse space, and then you can allow the user to jump to any other one of your spaces. So it might mean that you can take your users on a journey from your car room, so your 12 car garage, to your Star Wars room, to your Marvel room, and just lead them on that journey. So I'm really excited for that to come out. We also have a new. Well, actually, should I say it? No, you know what? Maybe I'll wait till we drop it. I won't
That's
give away.
It's probably for the best, Dan. It's probably for the best.
Yep.
He's working on other things, though. Clearly.
Yes, 100%. Yep. And then on the mobile side of things, we are again doing a bit more optimization on the mobile platform. What's happened over the past sort of year or so is that our assets have got considerably better quality. You guys can see this. If you stand a Batman Risso side by side with one of our later collectibles, the detail is huge, a huge gap between what we were doing and what we're doing now. So that has also led to larger files, more complex systems like the animation and the particle effects. So I am doing a bit of more further optimization on the mobile platform, just to work out really what direction is the best way to go, because to run these massive worlds, that are kilometers or miles long, very challenging on a mobile device, like I mentioned last time. So we've got a couple of really exciting updates in the works at the moment. It's going to be a little bit different to what you would experience on the desktop, but still a lot of fun.
Fantastic. We're talking about making VeVe fun again. A thing that I think's fun is being able to talk to people that collect and being able to interface with them in an easier way. And I think we've got an update that's coming to the app that's going to make that so much easier and so much better. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yes, exactly. One of the commitments, from my side is, coming back to founder-led, like I mentioned, is really just making sure that, the VeVe product continues to get better and better. So what you're referring to, Corey, is we are launching in-app chat. This is a really cool feature. It means that you guys can now, you don't have to go off to any other platform to, say, will you sell this for for this gem or that gem, or you're now going to be able to communicate with each other directly within the app itself. And the chat feature has a lot of really cool features in it. You can create groups. You can send all of your gifts. You can send all the links to your products. And just have a good old chat about collectibles directly within the app. So for us, it's just a way to create a bridge between our users. At the moment, I see it all the time. People, they tag each other on the feed to say, can we do this deal, or can we do that deal, or show me this, show me that. So now we're bringing that experience directly to you. And the great thing, Corey, is that this is actually ready. In fact, it should be rolling out today.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So if you're watching this video on the day that it releases, there's going to be a whole bunch of information that's releasing via our blog, our socials, app updates themselves. You're going to need to be doing updates, but just stay tuned to our socials. You're going to get all the information you need. But David, how are you feeling about this? We know how chatty you are. You can't not respond to an email that gets sent to you by any fan. So what are you going to do with in-app chat? I mean, how are you going to find time to work, David?
Yeah, I mean, this is well overdue for us as a feature. We find, and then what you talked about is making VeVe fun again. This is a major steps that we be rolling out. You see many other social media apps out there have these type of feature where you can connect with one another. When we first built VeVe, we were hoping that the photos and the pictures that you post with the AR characters will talk to you. And the fact that it's done beyond that, it has connected people in the community who live far away, and they now share the similar interest and hobby. And now this in-app chat will take it to the next level. It will build that closer connection. So I'm really looking forward to that. And like I say, it's taking a while, and this should have been rolled out much earlier. But we're getting on top of things, and I really want to thank our audience and community out there to give us time for us to pull and roll these out.
Whenever it comes to in-app chat, Dan, you mentioned you'd be able to send pictures, photos, share collectibles, show off the things that you want to sell. I think we're also making that a little bit better, being able to display our collectibles in a brand new way. So talk to me a little bit about that update that's coming.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is something that I'm a big advocate of. Obviously, David and I are huge collectors. I'm always on collecting websites. With VeVe version 2, in my opinion, there were a couple of things missing from it that I really want to correct. And this is one of my objectives as soon as we came in, is more founder-led. So number one is just making sure we have all the basics in place. Like when you view a collectible, now you're going to see 10 plus images. Actually, maybe I won't promise 10, Corey, because I know that's going to put your team under pressure. There's going to be multiple
We got
images.
this, Dan. We got this.
Yeah.
Promise away.
Exactly. Multiple images for all collectibles. We want to make sure that all of the amazing video content that Corey and his team did directly on the collectible page. That includes AR videos, the reveal videos. It's just so, when you or a new collector comes to the page, they're getting to see the collectible in all the beautiful detail. And again, it's just a way for people to get more closer to that collectible and really to be able to see the detail of what it is, because our production team, they put a lot of work and a lot of effort into these collectibles. So as number one, it's about showing them off. Secondly, is that we're bringing all of the information that we would typically post on the blog all onto that product page. So now when you go to the product page, you'll be able to see what is the first mint. Is there any burning? How many are remaining? All of that information that is typically in a side blog is now all going to be in that one page. So you're going to have all of the information at your fingertips, beautiful images, beautiful videos, just so we've got everything in that one spot rather than having it sort of fragmented.
Absolutely. And a big part of wanting to make VeVe fun again is it means you open up the app and all the things you need to have fun are there, right? All that information you just talked about, lots of beautiful images, the video, all on one page. You're not opening up a blog and then checking a Twitter and doing this and doing that. You just go to one place And if you want to talk to people about it, you don't even have to leave. You can just send the message right there. So it's going to be really great for our content creators, and it's going to be great for our general collectors too. But, you know, we can add all these images and we can add all these videos and we can add all this information, but people can't find things on the app. That's a problem. So talk to me a little bit about search functionality, Dan.
Yes. So this is another update that I've been really passionate about. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. The search on VeVe is, well, you know,
we're still searching for it.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
like...
I'm searching for the word to describe the search. Yeah. So it has never really been that great. So one of the other missions that I've been on, and the reason I've been doing this also is because, you know, that when we do our, you know, VeVe fam surveys, search is always one of the, I'm going to say, the most hated thing in the product, because as you say, Corey, you know, we need our users to be able to find products and new users coming in to be able to easily find what they want. Seems very simple, 101. But what I am glad to say is that we have done a full refresh of search. We'll search for much wider keywords. It has fuzzy logic if anybody's interested in any of that kind of stuff. And just keep in mind, this is the first phase of the search revamp. It already has a lot of features. You know, you can add all your filters in. So I'm really excited for this to come out. And then we're going to be continuing to iterate on that. So, you know, by this time next month, we should have other features in there like autocomplete and such. So, I mean, but the great thing is, Corey, is that all of this stuff is done. We're not talking about this is coming, hashtag soon, hashtag what. It's actually here, done, really like that. And that's the main commitment that, you know, at least from my side on the product, is actually, you know, really getting this stuff delivered to you guys. So I hope, I hope you really enjoyed the in-app chat, the new product pages with all the information on them and the search. And there's a lot of cool stuff in the pipeline now. So get ready to have a lot of fun on VeVe again.
And you said hashtag soon, you said hashtag what? The last one of these videos we released had quite a few comments, and almost all the comments were saying, not a word about Omi, when Omi news. David, I think you have some Omi news for us. Talk to us a little bit about what's going on with Omi and how it's going to be getting a little bit more love moving forward.
Yeah, thanks, Corey. So early on, I announced, we're going to be taking Omi as a payment for the physical goods that you can redeem. We understand the importance around that. You know, people want more utility value. And by the time this video's come out, we are proud to announce that Omi to Gem is part of the rollout, and then we'll be announcing it through our social. And please read the blog, and then the newsletter that we're rolling out to understand how it will work. It's been a long time in the working. It's always been in our roadmap is how we bring more utility. And, you know, when Omi first started, it was always going to be a way of payment for the VeVe collectibles. And, you know, we're just really bringing that line. And we found partners that will bring this live for us. So very exciting to see that. You know, in months to come, you will see and hear a lot more about Omi, what we're doing. We're working with partners, what we can do with it. And, you know, we definitely understand that the holders has been waiting for a long time to see more utility, and more will come as time reveal. But, you know, I'm excited to announce that the Omi to Gem will be rolling out. And hopefully some of you will give it a try. And other parts of the Omi that we have achieved this quarter, many of you probably have seen Omi to Base wallet. And then recently we also announced that Omi on Binance wallet. And we're working very hard to build more partnership and more integrations, whether that's wallets or redemptions or utility or exchanges. All these are all continuously on the roadmap, and we're working ways to roll these out. So stay tuned. And yeah, I hope everyone here in the community enjoyed this announcement. And there will be, and I'm also working on other Omi utility exclusive drops. We're just figuring out how we're going to do those primary drops with your OMI tokens exclusively with StackR. That's one. And we are also working on a very cool digital product for the OMI holders. If you hold one of those OMI logos out there, we've got something exciting coming out as well. So we haven't forgotten about you. We basically just trying to work out what's the best way to roll these things out. But everything as usual, we're working with multiple moving pieces and partnerships here at the office. And as when it happens, we'll announce them. And I'm really looking forward to see you guys at these events to do the redemptions.
Right now, we're in sort of a bull run for a lot of tokens. And we see a lot of conversation in the community from a lot of people. Why doesn't VeVe talk about OMI very much? How important is OMI to us? And is it a thing that we're thinking about a lot as a business?
Yeah, every part of our business, when we roll something out, we always do think about, how can we give more utility around that? When we first started the OMI in 2019, it took a long time for a lot of these platform and regulations to be servicing and understanding, what makes OMI a utility token. And we're seeing how other projects have done it, and basically we're following suit. And you'll see more of that proactiveness now. We are very more clear on what we want to do with these OMI holders out there. And the most important thing is to bring that utility, what we promised on day one, and then we're starting to roll them out, and it will take time. And the other parts that, while I always thought about, when people talk about the digital asset that's going through a bull run or a positive in the market figures, I also wanted to understand that collectors really use their tokens to purchase something. I mean, you're seeing a lot of these news and memes around the guy who bought, a piece of with the Bitcoin he has, and that ended up and turned out to be one of the most expensive meal in history. So we wanted to ensure that the business continue to operate without taking a hit on it, because people are not willing to part with their token. And you kind of have two parts of businesses that we are a collectible business, and the same time as we want to create value for our holders out there. It is very important that we also have seen, the royalty programs that we have run in the MCP plan. We have the gold and silver logo holders. We have the level 100. We do understand, and we part of all these programs is to really understand, number one, with our own IP, what we can bring to the community, with our own tokens, what could we do and unlock those opportunity. And, with everything that we roll out, it takes time for us to gauge the interest and the redemption. Will someone want to give up all their MCP point for this collectible, and why do they do that? And why do people pay 500,000 points for a fantastic full comic edition, or Silver Server in this case, number one came out? So really gauging and understanding the community in every aspect, as a collector, as a digital asset believer, someone who loves tokens in every way. We're still learning through that, but now we have made that decision that we need to roll these out sooner than later. So you'll see a lot more. And in 2026, we're already registered to be at Paris NFT. You'll see a lot of us representing our brand, our product in these Web3 conferences. So I'm really excited to share all that with you guys. But it doesn't mean we're not going to, stay true to what the app is. We are a collector's app. We want collectors to be out there. We want that massive market. So, and we also do understand that a portion of our collectors who brought us to where we are OMI holders. So we are there, and I'm very, very excited to share this update with you all, and hopefully you guys will forgive us for our slowness, but it is here.
Fantastic. And that sort of brings us to the next portion of the show, and that is 5 years of business. Birthday's coming up. I mean, been through a lot, the two of you, starting this, and you've made it through all kinds of tumultuous times. A lot of companies have come, a lot of companies have, left at this point. How are you feeling? 5 years down, here we are. What's the general feeling?
Yeah. And so it's 5 years for VeVe this year, and we're going to celebrate Ikomi for 7 years next year with a special thing as well. But the what that 5 years seems like 20 years to start with. Everything in the world we are, it's like 5x speed. Everything should be happening now. We want that rollout now. We want more announcement now. We want more partnership. But the 5 year has been definitely, we've seen the highs and lows. Number one, going back, is I want to thank our community. Without you, we will not be here celebrating it with you. So we do want to mark this occasion, and we decided that the Vegas Designer Con will be part of that celebration. So we've got a great lineup of things, and we're not just going to be celebrating in LA, Las Vegas. We're going to start with New York, right? Because a lot of people in the East Coast who is in Europe will be making that trip, and the entire Q4, our team here at VeVe is going to be celebrating and really embracing that remarkable achievement. But behind the picture, this 5 year celebration it's we went through the high and low, but the most important is we want other project and we want other digital collectible business to be celebrating as well. It's definitely been tough. I have to admit, myself and Dan, we were in the forefront. When CryptoKitty came out, we grasped that, we kind of understand, and we went out and approached of these IP owner. And it is really great to see what we envision other companies out there went out and get these IP and build a competitive product to what we do, because it really validates our vision that digital collectible is a medium, is an industry. So we're so happy to that. And we do want to see other projects to do well in years to come, because I think, most people see us as we're always competing or we have competitors. But, and I say this many, many times, being in the retail industry and been selling trading cards, role-playing books, collectibles, the industry will not exist with only one competitor or one product out there. I'll give you an example. I went to the Chicago Nationals, and all the hype is about all the vintage products. It's all about the first rookie card for Shohei Ohtani, Michael Jordans. You got your old baseball player, the patch card, the signature, the triple logo card, the double design, and that, the used jersey, the sticker, that everyone in that room is all buzzing. You don't hear people talk down another company's product. And something in the digital world is that we really need to embrace and really understand, the true collectors out there is what's going to bring this community and their energy together. So I really hope that our community can help us spread the word and, continue to do what they do. That, some of the collectible that we release, it's turning 5 years old. It's the first appearance of these Batman, the first appearance of some of these Mickey Mouse characters that you beloved, that you grew up with. And in years to come, I really do believe that there will be a medium of people who just love to collect the first asset of these digital collectible on chain. Stay tuned. With all your support, I hope we have many more years to come. And that's from my heartfelt message to our audience, and I hope really you understand that. And I want Dan to speak a little bit about what's he's gone through this journey with me, that 5 year of that 20 year. I still got my hair, so it's a good thing. Getting the right.
I mean, when you started, Dan, there wasn't even a marketplace. So from being on the floor as COO for this whole journey, I mean, the changes that you've experienced in the last 5 years, run us through it.
It has been really, really exciting, nerve-wracking, anxiety-inducing, celebratory. I mean, all the superlatives. But it's been a really, really amazing journey. And, like I mentioned earlier, we've always been at the coalface, at the very front of this industry. And as David alluded to, it has paved the way for a lot of other businesses to follow in behind us. So, I think from my side, and, just really proud of everyone in the team and everyone in our community for enjoying the product and seeing the vision of what we do. Like I was having a chat with somebody in the team the other day and just saying that, as a collector, like I know VeVe is a fun collectible product. And I'm very, very confident that digital collecting is going to hit the mainstream over the coming years. So, if you have one of those first appearance Batman or first appearance anything on VeVe, that's the type of thing I'm sort of quietly stacking in the background. But it's really been exciting just watching the product grow, the evolution of, like I mentioned earlier, that first Batman Todd, or the Risso from Batman Series 1, when it was me back there in the 3D software doing my best to put it together, to where it is now, which is just, I would actually say that, some of our collectibles now rival some of the physical stuff that is out there in terms of detail and quality. I'm just really looking forward to the future. Like I want to make more collectors happy. I mean, even some of the stories that we've had with, I remember this one guy at New York Comic Con. He'd never collected in his life, found VeVe somehow, and then his entire family thought he had gone crazy because he just became obsessed with collecting. So he never knew he was a collector until he got the app. And it's just so rewarding hearing all of these stories, because at the end of the day, collecting is about fun and it's about enjoyment. It's about collecting what you love. So, yeah, I'm really excited for the 5th birthday. I think the reason we're doing Decon is because Decon was the very first event that VeVe had. And David and I couldn't even make it. I don't even think we had enough money to go to the event. So it was just like a trestle table with a piece of cloth on it. So it's pretty amazing to think, that's where we started and, where we're going to be now with at Decon and New York Comic Con, etc. So here's the next 5 years.
Absolutely. And there isn't a future 5 or 10 year plan. We're just getting started. There's all kinds of updates coming. There's no finish line that we see. So it is onwards and upwards always. Like I mentioned earlier in the episode, after you see this video on the day this video goes live, it is going to be information release after information release after information release, updates, gym restructures, Omi to gym, all kinds of things are happening. So please stay tuned to our socials, watch your emails, check out the blog. You see all the socials at the bottom of the screen. But with that, gentlemen, I think it's time to wrap this up. And so until we see you in the next one, everyone, happy collecting.